Greetings, Internet people. Ranting Ramsey here. How are you all doing today? I'm not doing so bad. Today we're talking about how the American media is a lying bunch of bastards and is not to be trusted. Now, anybody with an analytical mind or that has some sort of critical thinking capabilities already knows this. They already know that the American media blows things out of proportion and even at times will blatantly lie without lying, if that makes any sense at all. That they will bend the truth as they know it to be to represent something else to convey the message that whoever's paying them the most money at that moment wants them to convey. Now, there's a little bit of backstory as to how I came to want to make a rant about this. I want to say it was last night that I was playing MAG until about 2:30 in the fucking morning, because I work nights now, so I've never been the type to be able to get off work, go home, and go straight to bed. I've got to after work. It takes me at least 3 or 4 hours before I can even really wind down and think about sleeping. And so I was playing MAG with my clan until about 2:30 in the morning. And at that point, everybody pretty much left except one other person who's in the clan. He's one of the few guys in the clan that's just as talkative as I am. And he is from Canada. And he's a really nice guy. And we just started talking about just random bullshit. And what conversation started with him talking about a car accident he got into, which got us comparing the differing merits in the insurance system between Canada and America, and it just kind of kept going and going and going, the conversation. It basically turned into, for me, a giant civics lesson, because I'm actually somewhat ignorant as to how some of the social structure works in Canada when it comes to things like insurance and the legal system and things like that. And this is information I always find just kind of entertaining and interesting, because I always like to see Americans think that America is so fucking great, and I like to see how other countries do things, because the guy who I was talking to last night, probably watching this video, will remember that there were a few things that I pointed out. I was like, wow, that's far superior to how we do things here in America. And but what really got me to kind of grind my teeth a little bit is when we started talking about the healthcare in Canada, and how that it's a really good system. It's a fucking awesome system. And if those of you who watch CNN and the news and all that good shit, Fox News, whatever, during the time when the healthcare bill was in its forming periods and all that shit, we got all of this media blitz about how the healthcare things were going to hurt America and this, that, and the other. And then they would go so far as to explain, because there were a lot of groups that are popping up and going, look, Canada has socialized medicine. They've got it all fucking figured out. Why can't we use a system like theirs? It seems to work for them. And when people started mentioning this, the media started running a lot of newscasts about how the Canadian healthcare system could take you months to get a surgery, and it could just, like, basically they made it sound like the wait times for any procedures in Canada were just astronomically long. And the guy I was talking to, the Canadian citizen in my clan last night that I was talking to, was actually in a car accident where he basically got fucked up. And it was not his fault. I can't remember exactly what he told me. I think he said he fucked up like 4 or 5 discs in his back, cracked like every rib on one side of his body, broke a shoulder. I mean, just totally fucked himself up by getting hit by this other guy when it wasn't his fault. And he was telling me, I was like, okay, well, this will give me a good perspective. How long did it take you to get the surgeries and the things that you needed? And he told me, it was like, well, for a major life-threatening, I need to have this surgery done, I'm in crippling pain, it was generally within the month that you make the claim. You know what I mean? Like less than 30 fucking days. And that's like if it's only kind of life-threatening. If it's life-threatening, you're in there. And that just made me grind my fucking teeth to powder, because I remembered, like I said, the American media making it basically sound like nothing ever gets done in the Canadian healthcare system, and that we need the American healthcare system the way it is. That's how you get superior care quickly. And then in talking to my Canadian friend, I basically was was informed that this is all complete and total fucking bullshit. That the Canadian healthcare system functions just fine. That you get in when you need to get in. And that's one of the things that kind of made me laugh about the American healthcare system, is that people who need non-life-threatening surgeries that don't really, like, they don't absolutely positively need to have them to survive, will piss and bitch and cry and moan and wail until they're taken care of like that, and then they'll piss and cry and moan and wail about the bills that they fucking have. Whereas in Canada, if, it's not necessarily like, a life-threatening or an absolutely dire fucking surgery or procedure that needs to be done, it won't be done immediately, but it will be done at a reasonable cost to you because you're paying into the fucking system to begin with. And so this whole situation just kind of brought into the limelight for me exactly how blatantly bullshit the American media is. Like I had mentioned, though, I already knew this. I already knew that you can't trust the fucking news, that anything they tell you is slanted in one obvious direction to get you to feel a certain way, to get you to vote a certain way, or do a certain thing, or support a certain person. That literally the news media in America is nothing more than an extremely expensive advertising firm, or anti-advertising firm if they're trying to be against something or something. Now, when you talk about social crimes and social problems with fucking on the news, like murders and all this shit, then yes, okay, that's, reporting facts, blah, 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 whatever. But anything on the world scale, or anything that has to do even remotely with people's opinions, you can't fucking trust anything the goddamn news media says. And I just keep coming back to the same fucking point. Like I said, it was just totally clarified for me with how they represented the Canadian healthcare system when my guy in my clan, the Canadian that I've been talking about this whole time, pretty much told me, no, that's wrong, that's bullshit, you were lied to. And then my response at the time was, I'm not fucking surprised. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And so you shouldn't be surprised. You should never, ever, ever, ever trust the fucking news media when they're talking about how another country does things. And that's just a start. That's just for fucking starters. I mean, it goes way beyond that. But once again, like I said, I just keep driving the same fucking point into the ground over and over and over again, because that's the main fucking point of what I'm trying to say. Is that the news media misrepresents things, they lie to you, they fucking do not tell you the whole entire truth. So, I mean, but then again, most of my viewers are probably intelligent enough to already know that. From the comments they leave me and the message they send me, they most of them seem like a relatively intelligent group. So I'm basically just preaching to the choir here, but I just really felt the need to point all this out because of the conversation I had last night. That once again, the American media made it sound like the Canadian healthcare system was just this fucked up pile of do-nothing, when I was talking to a man that had been into an accident that required many, many vital surgeries and got them in a timely manner. So, you fucking tell me who's bullshitting in that scenario. If you want to keep believing CNN and Fox News and all those lying sacks of shit, you go right the fuck ahead. But those of us with half a brain in our fucking head or more will just be snickering behind your back. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I am Ramsey. That's all I have to say on that subject. That is all.
Hey, did you get all that, man?